بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear children, today inshallah we're going to continue the ayat from Surat An-Naziat from ayah number 15 to ayah number 26. Surat An-Naziat, we started last time. We spoke about the beginning of the surah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making an oath by the angels and different jobs of the angels, those who are concerning with pulling out the souls of the disbelievers, others for pulling out the souls of the believers, and how they are moving from the heaven to the earth, and from earth ascend to the heaven in a swimming motion and movement, and how they are carrying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be disposed on the earth, and how we mentioned that this type of the oath it began in the first 5 ayat, and then we have the answer or the jawab al-qasam came in ayah 6 when Allah say يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الرَّاجِفَةُ, which means when Allah is making oath by these angels, it is the day of judgment where will surely happen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us what will happen during this day, that it will be first to blow followed by the second one. The hearts of the disbelievers will be trembling as that day, and their sights will be lowered and humiliated and humbled. Then the ayat came back about how the disbelievers in the life were talking to the Prophet and saying to him, shall we again be resurrected after being buried in our graves, after being decayed bones and dust? If this happen, it will be surely will be losers. And of course, they are mocking at that time, and they said this in a sarcastic way. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them, فَإِنَّمَا هِيَ زَجْرَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. Yeah, this is one huge sound will come to you, and it will be you will be on the earth of the day of judgment, or you will be gathered at the earth of that will be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will created especially for all the creation on the day of judgment. Okay, then the ayat today start to give us an example of those disbelievers. Usually you will find when you are reading Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you a general role that or general law that the disbelievers surely will enter the hellfire and will be punished for their arrogance, for their proudness, that they refuse or deny the religion and the true religion, and they prefer to live with their desires. And then after that, they give you an example of a person or a group of people who are doing that. Remember when we took Surah Al-Fajr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us after making an oath by Al-Fajr that there are 3 types of disbelievers that are like Fir'aun, like the Samud, like the Ad people. So here we have again an example of that, which is the Fir'aun. So the ayat will shift us to the story. Now we'll go to the story of Prophet Moses alayhi salam. So the ayah in ayah 15 say, هل أتاك حديث موسى. Here, هل أتاك means has it reached to you. أتاك reached you. The Hadith Musa. What is Hadith Musa? The story of Moses. So Musa or Moses is a prophet that came to Bani Israel or children of Israel. And Prophet Moses is considered one of Ulul Azm min al-Rusul, or those who are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose them especially from other prophets. We know that Ulul Azm min al-Rusul, that يعني those who are يعني having a special place and special value that Allah mentioned about them, they are five. Five, they are really having a يعني great support from Allah, and they suffered a lot in their message, conveying their message, and they are five prophets. Prophet Moses, Prophet Isa, Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام, Prophet Ibrahim, and Prophet Noor. Those are the five Ulul Azmi min al-Rusul, or the special valued prophets by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for that Allah mentioned about them. So here the ayat will take us to the story of Prophet Moses. What happened to him? First thing here in ayah 16, إذ ناداه, here, which is ناداه, ناداه ربه بالوادي المقدس طوى. Now we'll take it piece by piece. First, إذ ناداه. What is ناداه means? إذ means when, but ناداه, who knows ناداه? Yes, يا رقية.
Called him.
Excellent. يبقى ناداه ربه, his Lord. So when his Lord called him. طيب, here called him means that we have to know that Prophet Moses has a special, or had a special advantage than all the other prophets, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to him directly. Talked to him directly. So when we said called him means talked directly to him. So that's why Prophet Moses is known as Kalimullah, the prophet that Allah talked to him directly, which means that Prophet Musa, he listened to the words of Allah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. Okay? When his Lord called him, where this happened? بالوادي المقدس طوى. يعني this actually happened in the sacred or the holy valley. The holy, so بالوادي المقدس means in the holy or sacred village, valley. Tuwa, Tuwa is the name of the valley. Tuwa. So according to the place, it is in the mountain of Tur in Sinai in Egypt. This is the place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to Prophet Moses. Tuwa is a valley, and the valley, usually when we say valley, so it is a mountain beside it. So the mountain is Tur, the name of the mountain, and even the name, this name came in the Quran. We mentioned in Surat At-Tin, وَالتِّينِ وَالزَّيْتُونِ وَطُورِ طُورِ Sinin. Tur here is the Jabal at-Tur, or the mountain of the Tur in Sinai, and Sinai is a place in Egypt. Okay, so Allah is saying, when his Lord called him in the holy valley, Tuwa, What Allah mentioned to His Prophet in this place. Of course, we know we'll know that in other surahs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He spoke directly, as we mentioned, to Prophet Moses and told him that I am Allah and no God but me, so worship me and perform the salah for my remembrance. And then starts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to tell him about his mission. Tell Prophet Moses about his mission. What was his mission? اذهب, go. اذهب means go. إلى فرعون, to Pharaoh. Go to Pharaoh. Go to Pharaoh. Okay. Why he will go to Pharaoh? Why he will go to speak to him? إنه طغى. Indeed, he has transgressed. إنه طغى means indeed he has transgressed. Transgressed whom? Transgressed the people at that time of Bani Israel that present in Egypt. I advise you actually to read about the story of Prophet Moses. It's really, really very nice. Inshallah, I will try to send you on the WhatsApp group to your mothers like videos, playlist for a group of videos for the story of Prophet Moses. It is translated to English. Actually, it's in Arabic, but it translated to English. It's really nice, really, really nice. You will like it. So what happened that shortly, I need to go through it, that Pharaoh was at his time, he used to kill all the newborn babies, boys, all the boys, newborn babies, killed 1 year and 1 year off for of all boys in Bani Israel or the children of Israel. Bani Israel at that time are the those who all belongs to Israel. Israel is the prophet Yaqub, prophet Jacob, alayhi salam. They are the children of prophet Jacob. This is the start. How they came to Egypt? How they came to Egypt? Shortly, just to make the story concise, Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, he has 12 sons. He had 12 sons, and from them Prophet Yusuf, Prophet Joseph alayhi salam. Prophet Yusuf, we know the story of Yusuf that at that time his brothers saw that his father is like him more than them. So they made a conspiracy around Prophet Yusuf, and they took they took him away from his father, Prophet Yaqub, and threw him in a well. And after that, people who are passing by, they took him. He was still child. He was maybe 7 to 8 years when this happened. And they took these people, like a caravan, or like the people who are passing through for trading, traveling from the Sham, because this happened in Palestine or Palestine. They took Prophet Yusuf from Palestine to Egypt. He was still young, and after that he grew up in Egypt, and then he became yeah, after a long story, he became the minister of finance in Egypt. And then he like a fame or time where there is all the countries around Egypt were suffering from lack of food. So his brothers came back to him in order to buy food for their people in Palestine. Then he told them that he is Yusuf, just bring your people and come all of you to Egypt. So this is the beginning of why Banu Israel was in Egypt at that time. At the time, Egypt was not ruled by Pharaoh. Pharaoh, by the way, is a title of the ruler of Egypt. It is not a name of person. When you see Pharaoh is not a name of person. It is a title, the title of anyone who is ruling Egypt from the Egyptian people. So at that time, When the brothers of Yusuf came to Egypt, the Egypt were not ruled by Egyptians. It was ruled by another people. Like yani, they are not Egyptians. But after that, what happened that a war happened between these Egyptians and those people used to rule Egypt, and the Egyptian took the upper hand at that time, and Pharaoh started to rule Egypt, and they started to take all Banu Israel in a specific place, which is a very poor place, and took them as servants. And one day he had a dream. He dreamt that all his kingdom will be dissolved, will be demolished, will be disappeared by one of the boys will grow up and be young man, that he will take all his kingdom from Banu Israel. So he had the decision to kill every newborn baby. 1 year to kill, and the other year not to kill, just to keep them as servants, yani for them, for the Egyptians. The year that Prophet Moses born was the year that they used to kill the baby boys. So his mother threw him in a wooden box after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired her to do that. And then this box went to the palace of Pharaoh, where the wife of Pharaoh saw the Prophet Moses when he was baby, and she was fond of him. And she told Pharaoh not to kill him, and she raised him. And after that, a lot of things happened. And then Prophet Moses left Egypt because he used to know that he's not actually from the pharaoh from the pharaohs. He's from the Banu Israel, and he knew his family, and he used to go and visit his family. And then once a day, one Egyptian was quarreling with one of Banu Israel, and the Israeli one asked the help of Prophet Moses. So he just tried to push away this Egyptian, and then this Egyptian was fell down and died. And Prophet Moses asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him of what had happened, and Allah forgave him. But actually, what happened that this news already been known by Pharaoh, and he decided to kill Moses at that time. So Moses took yani someone came to him and told him, just go away, don't stay in Egypt. You will, if you stay one more day, you will be taken by the soldiers of Pharaoh. So Prophet Moses decided to go, and he left Egypt. He went to Jordan, yani place called Madian, and this Madian is a place where near Jordan, where he married there and stayed there for 10 years. After 10 years, he wanted to come back to Egypt. He wanted to come back. During his way in the Tuwa, or in Sinai, which is at the place from Jordan to Egypt. If you're going to from Jordan to Egypt, you will pass by a place called Sinai. In Sinai, there is the mountain of Tur. So at that time, during night, it was very cold night, and Prophet Moses was with his family. He's trying to find like a fire in order to make a fire to make it warm night. So he saw a fire from away from a very far place. He went to see what maybe people can help him. And when he came to this fire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to him directly, as the ayat is mentioned. And then the ayat is telling him, go for Pharaoh and tell him that to give you, or to make you take Banu Israel with you, and to stop punishing them and transgressing them. Of course, during the 10 years where Prophet Moses were in Jordan, still Pharaoh is transgressing and punishing people. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling him to go to Pharaoh, because he has transgressed people. And فَقُلْ هَلَّكَ. Here Allah is telling him what to say first to him. what Prophet Moses should say to Fir'aun. فَقُلْ هَلْ لَكَ means and say what? Say to him. Say to him what? هَلْ لَكَ إِلَى أَن تَزَكَّى means would you be willing? هَلْ لَكَ means would you be willing? أن تزكى means to purify yourself. تزكى, to purify yourself. And we mentioned about تزكى before. تزكى is coming from the word zakah. The zakah that you purifying your money by taking out the zakah for it. So Allah told his prophet to tell Fir'aun when he come to him, هل لك إلى أن تزكى, to purify yourself. If he's going to believe in what Prophet Moses came with and to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so he will purify himself. How he will purify himself from all these transgression and from all these punishments. This will happen by the next ayah 19. Prophet Moses is saying, وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَى رَبِّكَ. What's أهديك? Who knows وأهديك? Hmm. Yes, يا Angie?
Guide you.
Excellent. وأهديك and guide you. إلى ربك, this is very easy, to your Lord. فتخشى. فتخشى, what does it mean? فتخشى. Here, yes, فتخشى, yes, يا رقية.
When you fear something.
Yes, here فتخشى means that you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, and guide you to your Lord, so you fear him. You fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why he told him about fearing? Yani now when he's coming to, it's like when you invite someone to guide him, okay? What this is Prophet Moses doing for Pharaoh. But why Allah told him to tell him the word fatakhsha? So you fear. Yani Prophet Moses is telling him, I guide you to Allah so that you can fear him. Why especially the word fear or takhsha come here? Ha, yes, ya Ruqayya.
So he knows that what he's doing is wrong and knows that Allah is watching him.
No, actually, it gives us a lesson that when you are inviting someone or to guide someone, you have to know the personality of the person you are talking to. For example, this Fir'aun, what is he doing? He's seeing himself very strong. He's punishing the people. And moreover, he told the people to worship him as ilah or as a god. So this type of person, he's never feared, right? He never fear. He never have the feeling of fear or to be scared from someone because all the people are obeying him. And he is actually the source of fear to all others. But he can see that no one is fearing him. So when the Prophet Moses tell him, I will guide you to your Lord so you fear him. So here it is like a new meaning for him. He never had this feeling to fear someone because he is always being have the feeling that he is the one to make others fear or to fear others people. So here fatakhsha is very important word to come here, so that your heart will become humble, obedient and submissive to him, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after was hard evil and far away from goodness. Okay, understood this point? Why especially the word fear come here? Then what happened? That of course in other surahs, Pharaoh he responded to Musa and told him, do you have any evidence, any signs of what you are saying about your Lord that I should worship or I should go with? So here, okay, Bunyamin and Ahmed, yes, you can go. What is the sign? This means that Moses showed him strong evidence and clear evidence, clear proof. So here فأراه الآية الكبرى. So فأراه means that Prophet Moses عليه السلام showed Pharaoh the great sign. What was the great sign? Anyone can tell me what was the great sign shown by Prophet Moses? Yes, ya Inji?
Was it like when he put his hand into his pocket and then when he like stuck it out, it was white, but he didn't have like a disease or anything?
Excellent. This is one sign, and the other sign is the snake, right? So the snake, the first sign is the snake and his hand. The snake and hand. The snake that Prophet Moses يعني showed him, and when all the magicians came and they have their small snakes at يعني making deceiving people, but for Prophet Moses came with his stick and throw it, and it's a huge snake that engulfed all the other snakes, and his hand, as Heidi mentioned, his hand. You know that Prophet Moses was his dark skin. He was not يعني light white in color. He was dark in color. Not dark, but he was not white. So the other evidence that his hand put his hand under his shoulder, and then after that he will remove it back. It will be white. It is white without any disease, without anything bad with it. This is the other ayat. So فأراه الآية الكبرى, Moses عليه السلام showed Pharaoh the great sign. From these great sign, the snake and the hand. Then what happened from Pharaoh? فكذب وعصى. What does it mean فكذب وعصى? فكذب وعصى. But yes, يا رقية.
He denied and transgressed.
He denied كذب وعصى, disobeyed. So he denied اللي هو فرعون طبعا, and disobeyed. Denied what and disobeyed what? Who can tell me? Denied the yes, يا رقية.
He denied the message of Allah to Prophet Musa.
We have
Of
two things here. We have two
with
things.
fear
He first,
and
he
fear.
first, he first wanted to guide him. Prophet Musa wanted to guide him. Okay, and then he showed him the evidence, right?
Mhm.
So he denied what? Denied the signs. The signs he been seen by his own eyes. He denied the snake miracle and the hand miracle. So he denied the sign and disobeyed what? The guidance. So here, denied the signs and disobeyed what? The guidance. The guidance means the belief. So disobeyed Prophet Musa. يبقى he disobeyed the guidance and he denied the signs. فكذب وعصى. ثم أدبر يسعى. What is أدبر يسعى? أدبر means that he turned, then he turned يعني he turned away from Prophet Moses. He turned his back and started to what? Striving. What is striving? That he start to make the how to beat, to think يعني to think how to beat Prophet Moses عليه السلام. then يبقى أدبر, he turned back. Oh, sorry here. أدبر means turned back, so he turned back and يسعى and striving for beating Prophet Moses. Now he's thinking how to beat Prophet Moses, because he was afraid that Moses will go with his miracle of this asa that turned to snake. We mentioned at the first, the ayah al-kubra, or the great sign, is turning the asa or the stick to the snake, and a second one is his hand. So this is what being shown to Fir'aun. Fir'aun was very fear and scared at that time that Musa will take this miracle or this sign to show people, and people will believe in him, and he will lose the control. So what he started to strive for by فحشر فنادى. فحشر فنادى. What is فحشر فنادى? Who knows? فحشر. So he gathered people فنادى, and called all the magicians. All magicians that is being present he in Egypt, he started to call them, because at the beginning he saw only this miracle, but he wanted to make it on a wide scale, that he thought it was a magic, and if he gathered all the magicians, what actually happened, that this will make Prophet Moses to be beaten. Okay, فحشر فنادى. Then what he did after gathering people and called the people, when he called called all the people and gathered the people and gathered all the magician, and say what to him, فقال, and said to them, the people he gathered, I am your most exalted Lord. I am your most exalted, or what we can say, I am your most high God or Lord. Now, my question to you, why he told them like that? Why he told his people, I am your most high Lord? Most exalted, or we can just make in the English, yani, we can make it most exalted, and the highest, to be grammarly yani right. Highest Lord. You don't have another Lord higher than me. Why he told his people and even the magician like that? Yes, ya Angie or Heidi.
Is it because he's like arrogant and so full of himself?
Yeah, excellent. But he was very afraid. You can feel here he was very afraid by his behavior. Prophet Moses came to him and showed him the sign that he's really afraid from the snake, from showing his hand. So he started to gather people and to tell them, I am your only God. I am the highest Lord. Don't ever think about anything but me. This behavior gave us that he was very afraid, scared at that time, scared that Moses will be famous between people, and he starts to remember again the dream he dreamt long time ago, that his kingdom will be lost by one of the Banu Israel. So all this in his background, you can see how much he's nervous and how much he's doing all that with all striving. That's why the ayah is very precious in the meaning by telling you yas'a, striving. He's using all his power to beat Moses alayhi salam. So what was his end that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning in ayah 25? فَأَخَذَهُ فَأَخَذَهُ, so means so Allah seized him. فَأَخَذَهُ اللَّهُ, so Allah seized him. فَأَخَذَهُ اللَّهُ, seized him in punishment for the hereafter and the first life. Al-akhirah, the hereafter, he will be punished, and for al-ula, this life. So Allah seized him in punishment for the hereafter and this life. Yani he will have the punishment in both, in this life and in the hereafter. Okay, so this is فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى. طبعا we know the end of the story, that he will be he will be drowned in the sea when he's trying to follow Prophet Moses alayhi salam with the believers. So what was happened, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him die as drowned in the sea. إن في ذلك, and of course during the hereafter he will be punished in the hellfire, and all the followers will see him punished in the hellfire. And in other surah Allah is telling even the punishment was in his graves. يعني والعياذ بالله, even in his grave will be punished Fir'aun for what he did. And also an interesting thing to do or to say about Fir'aun, that Allah mentioned about him in Surah Yunus, فَالْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ لِتَكُونَ لِمَنْ خَلْفَكَ آيَةً, which means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Fir'aun drowned in the Red Sea, trying to follow Prophet Moses alayhi salam, his body being kept and his body being preserved by the old Egyptian. And if anyone has a chance to visit Egypt, you may see him in the Egyptian Museum. In Egyptian Museum, his name now is Ramses II. If you go to the Egyptian Museum in Egypt, Cairo, you will find him with the mummies that present there. As subhanallah, this is what the Quran is telling is the truth. And when the Quran is telling that, we will keep you with your body to be for the people coming after you as a sign. إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى. So Allah is telling that indeed it is a lesson. إن في ذلك, indeed in that story is a lesson. A lesson for what? For whoever would fear Allah. لمن يخشى, for whoever fear Allah. We'll stop here, and inshallah next time we'll continue from Surat An-Naziat. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك الله